Vincent got locked in a room with no windows and only one massive door. There's a panel with several buttons on the left and another one with a hint on it on the right. There's also a clock on the wall above the door. Which button should Vincent press to get out of the trap? The green triangle. The numbers on the panel represent hours. If you connect them on the clock face, you'll get a triangle. The door opened and Vincent got into a dimly lit hall. There, he saw one more door, but this time, both the lock and the key were hanging together on the same chain. But after examining this system for a couple of seconds, the guy understood he wouldn't get out this way. Why? The key has a different pattern. It won't fit in the lock. Vincent needs to look for another way to escape. Then Vincent notices a table standing in a dark corner. There's a piece of paper, a knife, and several inflated balloons lying on it. Vincent picks up the paper. It's a note. To get out of here, you must puncture a balloon with a knife. But if the balloon loses any air or bursts, you'll stay here forever. Vincent thought for a while, then he did something, and a hidden door opened in one of the walls. What did he do? He let the air out of one of the balloons. After that, he easily punctured it with a knife. Detective Marcus and another passerby became witnesses of a car accident. A man, hit by a minivan, was lying on the ground, unconscious. Marcus rushed to the nearest cafe to call an ambulance. When he got back, the passerby told him the man had turned onto his back but hadn't come to his senses. After looking at the scene for a couple of seconds, the detective said, "You'd better return everything you've taken from this man." Why did he say so? When they saw the man first, only one button was buttoned on his suit jacket. But now, it's already 2 buttons. The passerby must have opened his jacket to look for the wallet and then buttoned it up incorrectly. Look at this picture and try to figure out who is an alien in disguise. It's the guy in the yellow shirt. He's eating a banana, but he hasn't peeled it before biting on it. He probably sees this fruit for the first time. 3 famous detectives came to a coffee shop to discuss a tricky case. A waiter came up to them and asked, "Does everyone want coffee?" The first detective said, "I don't know." The second detective answered, "I don't know." And the third detective said, "Yes." Do you know what the first 2 detectives ordered? All the detectives ordered coffee. Each of them wanted to have this drink, but the first 2 couldn't know if it would be everyone's choice. If the first 2 detectives hadn't wanted coffee, they'd have simply said no. So, when the third detective heard the replies of his colleagues, he figured out both of them wanted coffee. And since he was also going to take a cup, he said yes. Ralph, Willie, Amber, and Grace are in a museum room. Someone stole a priceless exhibit from this room several hours ago. Ralph, Willie, and Amber claim they have nothing to do with the crime, but the detective doesn't believe them. They all get arrested and taken to the police station. Only Grace, who hasn't answered the question, is free to go. Why? Grace is the detective. Janice was having her morning coffee in a cafe when she heard a car screeching to a halt, then loud shouting. She ran there and saw a man with his bicycle on the ground and a car standing nearby. The cyclist didn't look hurt, and Janice helped him to get up. The car driver came up to them too. The cyclist pointed at the man. "He made me crash by hitting my bike with his car." But the driver said, "I saw him losing control of his bike in the mirror. Then he fell to the ground, and I stopped the car to go check on him." Janice almost immediately understood who was lying. Have you figured it out? The car doesn't have side mirrors. There are also lots of things in the back seat, They blocked the view of the road, so the driver couldn't have seen anything in his rearview mirror either. He's lying. One wealthy businessman was famous for always wearing a white hat, but one day he came to his office with a bunch of fruit on his head. His employees were shocked, but they didn't dare to question the man. The situation repeated the next day. On the third day, the businessman's secretary plucked up all his courage and asked what was going on. The man answered, "That's because I lost a bet. I haven't fulfilled it yet, but I'll do it today. There's no need to order lunch for me." What did the businessman have to do to fulfill the bet? When he made this bet, he said, "If I lose, I'll eat my hat." Detective Mark Darson suspected one man of committing a crime. He decided to stake out his house. Not too far away, he spotted an artist setting up her easel. Apparently, she was going to draw the criminal's house. At one point, the detective had to go away to the police station. He asked the girl to call him if she saw someone entering or leaving the house. She agreed. When Mark came back in the evening, the artist told him she'd seen no one. The detective immediately understood she was lying. How did he figure it out? When he was leaving, all the windows in the house were closed. But in the picture the girl drew, the windows are open. It means someone was inside while Mark was away. Take a look at this picture and try to understand which guy is Ben. Ben is the guy looking for something on the floor. He's the only one not wearing his shoes. That's because they're still in his locker. You've got a sack filled with coffee beans. You need to use this coffee to completely fill 2 other sacks of the same size. How can you do it? Put one empty sack into the other and fill them with coffee. A large sum of money was stolen from Mr. Green's safe. The police suspect Alan, but Alan says, "I don't know anything about safes or about how to open them. I'm a simple blacksmith." The detective doesn't believe him and asks Alan to prove it. He gives the guy one job-related task. If he copes with it, he's telling the truth. Alan gets 5 different chains. Each of them has 3 links. The detective asks the guy to make one chain out of these 5 pieces, but he can separate and combine only 3 links. In no time, Alan finished this task and was released. How did he do it? Alan separated 3 links of one chain and used them to connect the remaining 4 chains. Can you move just one matchstick to make a square? Pull this matchstick up a bit. Here's your perfect square. Mr. Bernard, a famous inventor, lived on the 6th floor of an apartment building. After long months of work, he finally created a time machine. He packed lots of food, water, and other necessary stuff and was ready to test his invention. He set the timer so that the machine took him 500 years back into the past. Mr. Bernard was about to press start when a thought came to his mind. He took the mechanism and carried it to his garage that was on the 1st floor. Why? This way, the inventor would avoid getting hurt. 5 centuries ago, there were no such high buildings. He'd simply fall to the ground from the height of the 6th floor. Look at these guys carefully. One of them lied when he said he hadn't painted the green smiley face on the fence. Which one is it? It's the guy on the left. Check out his left hand. Even though it's in his pocket, you can still spot some green paint he'd used. Bruce was walking along the beach when he found a glass bottle. The thing looked old, and the guy spent a long time trying to open it. Finally, he succeeded. To his shock, a genie rose from the bottle. "I'll fulfill your 3 wishes, but you aren't allowed to wish for more wishes." Bruce agreed, but still managed to get more wishes. How did he do it? His first wish was that the genie allowed him to ask for more wishes. Several birds landed on trees, one bird for one tree. But in this case, one of them didn't have a tree of its own. Then they regrouped with two birds sitting on one tree. After this, one tree was left free. How many birds and trees are there? There are 4 birds and 3 trees. Detective Hall, one of the agency's most talented detectives, used his coded key and entered the apartment where the secret documents were hidden. To help him find them, his assistant Clark had left an encrypted note with the exact location of the documents. It looked like this. Detective Hall deciphered the message and found the documents. Where were they hidden? The note says, "Under the carpet in the studio." The detective just read it backwards and ignored the spaces between the words.
Here's an easy one for starters. You have 5 seconds to see who's hiding behind those lines. Hoot hoot, it's an owl. What about this one? Squint, please. Did you manage to spot the tiger? Time for the next illusion. If you're getting tired of squinting, try shaking your head. Shaking the head worked for me. It's a big, mighty bear. Can you figure out this one? It's a beautiful sea turtle. Sure you managed to spot it. Who's hiding in this one? I knew it! It's a frog! Here comes the next one. Try moving the image back and forth if you don't feel like shaking your head anymore. It worked! It's definitely a giraffe. Another one for you. There's plenty of fish in the sea, and just one in this image. Things are getting trickier and trickier. Can you handle this one? It's a zebra. Next, please. You can try another strategy for this one. Just zoom out of the image. This cat sure has some style. You can try your successful strategy on the next image. Did it work for you? If so, you definitely guessed it's a squirrel. Let's take it one level up and see if you can name all the hidden numbers. Here we go. It's 649. Did you get it right? Next illusion, please. The number hidden here is 903. I'm sure you managed to decipher it. Moving on. Do you remember the zooming out trick? Just saying. Now you can easily tell it's 006. What about this one? Did you guess it's 488? And another one. It's 226. Bingo! And now, the king of them all, a 4-digit number to rock your mind. Only 5% of people can tell it's 1240. Here's a new test for your eyes. Can you find who's hiding here? This time, you don't have to squint. It's a bird hiding in the snow. That was just a warm-up. What about this one? It's right there, a beautiful green parrot hiding in the jungle. Do you think you can play detective again and find the hidden creature in this one? It's a cute little pika. It lives in the mountains of Asia and North America. This one just looks like a sea of green to me. Maybe you can figure it out. Voila! There's a crocodile successfully blending with all the greenery. Okay, the next one is definitely some empty landscape. Or is it? It's a cheetah, and it could be gone in a second. It's the fastest land animal in the world after all. It's getting trickier and trickier. Is someone hiding here as well? Did you find this little nighthawk? This bird is known for its bat-like flying technique. Alright, who's next? It's a bunch of toads camouflaged in bright fall leaves. Time for a coffee break. Would you like a cup? You can have it as long as you don't mind the cute ladybugs hiding in between these coffee beans. Next, please, do you see anybody here? Careful, a leopard is too close. It's the most secretive of the big cats, so you never know what's on its mind. Another tricky one for you. Perhaps squinting can help. Yay! Found it! It's a ground squirrel sitting on the rocks. Ready for the next one? I'd give it a close look. It's a whole family of monkeys keeping each other warm in the winter. Look at these beautiful butterflies. Can you name all of their colors? It's simple. They're all exactly the same shade of beige. The bright multicolored stripes make your brain believe the butterflies are all different. Here's another colorful optical illusion. Stare at the white dot in the middle of this color palette. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep staring at the white dot. Do you see faded colors around it? And now, take your eyes off the dot. The stripes are actually white and gray. Your brain and eyes are playing a trick on you here. Here's a fun one for you. Stare at the bird while I'm counting to 1. The second I say 1, quickly move your eyes to the ceiling and blink several times. You won't believe what you see. Let's try it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now blink. Do you see the same bird, or is it of a different color? Either way, it has to be there. How many animals do you see here? And the correct answer is 1. Just kidding, that would be too easy. If you look closely, you'll see a dog, a snake, an elephant, a chameleon, an otter, and a seagull here. So there are 6 of them, not just 1. Moving on. Give this optical illusion a close look. What do you see? If it looks like a lake and a mountain landscape to you, you're a realistic person who likes setting goals and reaching them step by step. If you saw the double meaning here and knew it was the head of a dog, you're really creative and often choose your fantasy world over the real one. How about this one? If you see two cats in love in this one, you're a sentimental and romantic person who always sees the good in others. You make new friends easily. If you see the upside-down wild cat, you're an ambitious person and a natural leader. You have the energy and drive that makes others listen to you and trust in you. What catches your eye here? If you saw the elephants first, you must be a logical person who seeks a reasonable explanation for everything. You like to follow a plan and don't like surprises. If it's swans to you, you must be more spontaneous and adventurous. You enjoy trying new things and taking risks, big and small. This one seems pretty obvious, but it's just an illusion, remember? If you see one tiger head in this one, looks like you're a super friendly and easygoing person. You feel more comfortable in the company of others than alone. If you instantly saw 3 tigers here, you feel good surrounded by others, but are most productive by yourself. You never feel bored when you stay alone, as you always have various scenarios playing in your head.